I sat there this morning thinking to myself that I really want to do a collective reading today. A reading that uses multiple decks, and I brought 3 out with me. We got decks like the Lost Oracle, the Raise Your Vibration, and the Earth and Bone Oracle. A real mix, but I felt cool to bring out these decks together today. So, if this video has found you, there's a reason why it has. There's a message in here that you need to hear. Now I do want to say, as this is a collective reading, we're reading for the collective. So some parts of this might resonate, some parts won't. Just take the parts that do resonate with you and leave anything else. Now I want to start by finding out where we're at with the Lost Oracle. Now before we start, I want to take a collective deep breath. Just one. 4 seconds in, hold for 4, and 4 seconds out. Here we go. Feel better? So, what do we need to know from the Lost Oracle? I'm kind of hoping that the Lost Oracle is going to be able to give us an overview of where we're currently at, what it is that we need to know, and how it is that we can move forward. What does the collective need to know for me today, please? Where are we at? What messages do we need? How do we move ourselves forward? Lots and lots of energy today. The first card is number 9, Beacon of Fortitude. And put simply, they want you to ground and connect. So kind of like what I'm doing here, giving myself just 10 minutes just to bring myself back to center. Spending time out in nature, connecting and grounding. But more importantly, this is time for you. If you don't feel like you have the time to prioritize what is important to you, something as simple as grounding, reconnecting. I feel like that might be something that you need more of. Just a chance to reconnect with you. Are there areas in our life that we can implement this change? That we might be able to move things around and prioritize a little bit more time for that? It hasn't got to be long, but maybe just start with 5 minutes. Now there is one more card that's dropped. That card is number 34, Under Siege. And it says on here, uproot your habits. Maybe there is a habit that we do need to uproot to make time for this. Maybe there is a habit in our life that actually this might be more important. Reconnecting back with us, grounding, and just giving yourself time to process the things that's going on. Because I feel like it's been really hectic at the moment. And this habit, yeah, it's keeping you tied down. This illustration and the way that the roots are holding on to her, they're keeping her stuck. They're not allowing her to do what she needs, to give herself the basic things that she knows would make her feel better. Instead, her habits have kept her rooted, kept her stuck. How can you move when you're rooted like this? How can you make time for anything? How do you move forward? So what else do we need to know from the Earth and Bone? Now we already know about prioritizing our time, grounding and reconnecting. But what else is going to come out for this? Well, I think I know what that card's talking about. And I kind of expected that one too. Bit of an interesting spin we've got on this. The first card is number 8, Blood Moon. Now Blood Moon is all about illusion, uncertainty and narcissism. Bet you can guess what card that draws me back to. This Uproot Your Habits card. That thing that we talked about keeping us stuck. This illusion, this sense of uncertainty. I'm glad that this card came out because it talks to us about how feeling trapped can absolutely destroy our energy. Having habits around us that no longer serve us but haven't been let go of yet, that can almost feed us a false sense of illusion. That maybe we have no time to prioritize this, and that maybe we don't deserve to prioritize that kind of time. Maybe we don't deserve to ground and connect. But there's another thing that I'm drawn to with this card. Notice in the word blood, those two O's, they're almost coming together to form an infinity symbol, which could mean a couple of things. Maybe this habit will keep us in a very dangerous loop if we let it continue. Maybe the changes that we want to make with this grounding and connecting, and that's not all with that second card, but maybe this is going to keep us stuck for longer than we expect. Now's a good chance to nip it in the bud, to make a change that you're more happy with, which does lead me on to that card. This card is number 34, and it says Ascension, all about transformation, end of cycles, and new beginnings. So this new thing that's coming through, maybe it is a sign for our transformation, this ascension that we're going through, the way that our vibration is rising. This is meant for you, but there is something also holding you back, stopping you from moving on to the next level. But more importantly, you need to do this, the grounding, the connecting. It's what brings you back to center. But before we go any further, I want to pull from the Raise Your Vibration deck. There's something else that we're not quite hearing. What else do we need to know about this, please? I can see how they fit. The first card, forgiveness brings freedom. Is there something that you are holding against yourself here? Is it something to do with the path and the vibration that we're carrying? Is it something to do with a certain trait? Maybe it's an illusion that you've been feeding yourself, or a sense of uncertainty that hasn't been acknowledged. Maybe it's having this bad habit that's keeping you rooted. Maybe it's not having the time to prioritize this grounding, this connection. Now, whether you do feel that this is attached to the cards that we've already pulled, or maybe this is talking about some other kind of forgiveness, you don't deserve to hold this against yourself. I love this image because we've got a chain being broken. The forgiveness can do that. And a lot of people find forgiveness hard. It can take us a while to get in tune with how we're actually feeling and what we want to forgive. You don't have to forgive the person. You can still condemn the actions that they took. You don't have to support it or get that relationship back to where it needed to be. But you do deserve forgiveness, to take that weight off of yourself, to prioritize some things differently, to put yourself first, lose the habits, and carry yourself forward. On your ascension path, you're rising. So allow yourself to rise. That forgiveness, that anger, or whatever other emotion that we're holding here, it doesn't serve you, and you don't need it. And this is where we come to the last card. Devotion unites me with the infinite. It's a bit of a tricky card to read, because essentially, what it's saying is we need to devote. We need to choose the path that we want to take. Is it the path of illusion and bad habits, lying to ourselves? Or are we going to choose the path of grounding, connecting, forgiveness, and rising along our path? That choice is for you to make. And please do trust that this reading has come around for a really specific reason, to give you this little nudge, to give you this message. When we devote ourselves, we become committed. We become determined to finish the path that we're on. That path is your path. You are exactly where you're meant to be, and you're moving through the things that you're meant to be moving through. But is there anything else that we're determined to carry along with us, even though we know that it's not meant to? Maybe we're not meant to bring this into the new stage. Maybe we're supposed to emerge as something new, as something different. And sometimes devotion is just a mental switch. It's just us saying, I've had enough. I deserve better. I will do better. And that unites you with the infinite. Once you start going with the flow, they can get everything to you. Everything that is meant for you. And anything that's not. And of course, my battery died. Which is kind of a moment in itself, isn't it? That last card that we pulled, the last card that we were talking about. Maybe this is where it needs to stop. Maybe this is the point that you go, I'm done. I'm done with that illusion. I'm done with lying to myself. I'm done with not prioritizing what's really important to me. I am done not living my most authentic life. It's one for you to think about. Really curious how these cards resonated with you guys today. Now hopefully all of them jumped out at you and had a lot to say, but even if certain parts of this just resonated, thank you for joining me. Thank you for being open, and thank you for listening. Give yourself a chance to ground and connect. Do what's right by you. You know what it is. It's just a case of prioritizing it. I'll see you in the next one.